Hello traders, in this video I'm going to show you a real-world example of why you need a trading plan, the discipline to be able to stick to that trading plan, and the ability to execute it perfectly. So today we took 3 trades, as we often do, and usually the trades are done in the first few minutes or hour of the market open. But I actually just finished the 3rd trade not that long ago, and you can see here it's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time. Now, let me tell you right now, I was not watching the charts the whole time. I use bracket orders so that I can kind of go about my business. I always have my phone nearby, so if one of the orders gets hit, then I get alerted. So there's multiple videos that are going to show the different trades, and I'll just try to highlight what's important here. So the trading plan that I have just tells me to trade the first stock that pops up on the top gainers list that breaks out through its previous high. So that's what I'm looking for right now. And MOGU was the first stock to do that. You could see its previous session high is right here marked out in yellow. So I'm waiting for a pullback, and I'm waiting for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. That will be my entry. So this is a very simple and straightforward plan, very easy to trade and execute. And right now we are just tracking it to see if it's profitable in the long run. But today is just a kind of just a great example, as I said before, of why you need a trading plan and why you need to be able to stick to it. So here I'm waiting for the first entry, which is as soon as a 1 minute candle makes a new high. So there we go. I execute the first entry. I have my stop loss in place. Let me just show you the entry live. So this is trade number 1. My trading plan says that I can take up to 3 trades, and I have to take all 3 trades if the first 2 trades fail. So that is non-negotiable. That is built into the trading plan. If I don't follow the trading plan, I have broken my rules, I've broken my plan, and any result from the day, good or bad, profit or loss, is bad, is just not useful because it doesn't mean anything. So here we are in trade number 1. I'm going to fast forward because I believe even this trade took a very long time to, let's just look at the time when this was executed real quick, and then I'll fast forward. About 9:37 is when we got into this trade, and this thing just chopped around a lot, went sideways, went near our stop loss, did all kinds of stuff, everything but hitting our profit target or our stop loss for the longest time. You can see here it went up very close to our 3R profit target, which is, that's all we're interested in taking. That's also part of the trading plan. The trading plan does not allow me to move my stop loss up or my profit target down once I'm in the trade. So let's keep fast forwarding here, and we'll see what happened. Again, this is trade number 1. So far, everything is according to plan. Sticking to the plan, not breaking the rules, doing all the right stuff. So important. Otherwise, in the long run, you're not going to know if what you're doing is working. So as I said, this is a very long trade. Now here it is almost 11 a.m. We're still in trade number 1. Let's keep fast forwarding. Looks like there's a struggle or some support or something going on here, but eventually we do get stopped out of this trade. Very difficult to look at a chart like this and try to be able to predict, what's going to happen. A break to either direction could send this thing flying up or down. So it's nearly impossible to decide what's going to happen, and that's why I like to just have a trading plan that tells me exactly what to do at every moment. At this point, 11:30, I got tired of recording this and decided to shut off the recorder, and then you could see I turned it back on as soon as it stopped me out. It flushed down on this candle. So that was the end of trade number 1. We got stopped out on that trade, and if you saw in the previous video that the stop loss was at 259, this thing flushed down so hard that I got filled at like 252. So huge slippage there. That rarely happens, but it does happen, and I still much rather have the hard stop in place than, maybe I open this thing up, see it at 245, get scared, trigger my hotkeys, and then I get out for even a bigger loss. But anyway, you're going to see how everything kind of worked out in the end in these trades, only because I stuck to my plan and I used trader discipline. So now here I'm just waiting for trade number 2. That's what my trading plan says to do. Wait for a 1 minute candle to make a new high. There we go. Now we're in trade number 2. Put my stop loss at the appropriate level, figure out my profit target, place it at 3 times the risk, and we're all done with trade number 2, and we get stopped out pretty quickly on that one. So keep watching here, and you'll see me enter trade number 3 in just a moment. and now it is almost 12:30. So we've been trading for 3 hours. Again, I have not been sitting here watching the charts this whole time. Most of the time I just let the recorder run. But anyway, now we're in trade number 3. And the entry on this one was kind of interesting because, let me just back it up a little bit. So I was waiting for the break of these candles here, and you'll see that it just kind of popped up all at once. And I have to trigger my entry because that's what my trading plan says to do. It says as soon as a 1 minute candle makes a new high, and that doesn't mean that within 1 cent, as soon as I see that new high, there we go. It went all the way to 245 in an instant. I trigger my hotkeys as soon as I realize what's going on and put my stop loss in place. This is trade number 3. We're all done with the day no matter what here. If we get stopped out on this trade, we're done. It's a 3 and out day. Which is fine. We still stick to the plan and all of that. But luckily, our third trade ended up working out. So let's fast forward and see. But just, I mean, this was not an easy trade. This whole thing was extremely difficult. If I did not have trader discipline, there's no way that I would be able to stick to the plan and do what's right, really. Because even if you lose all 3 trades, as long as you've stuck to your trading plan, you've done what's right, and you should be happy with yourself and proud of yourself. And after you track yourself doing that 100 times or more, then you'll know if what you're doing works or not. And that's when you make changes. You don't make changes because of what happened in one trade or one day. So here we are at 12:43. Again, I got kind of tired of recording here, so we're going to go to the next video. You'll see I'm still in the exact same position. I was trying to catch whenever this thing popped. I figured, let me turn on the recorder because this might hit our profit target. This one, it didn't. It just chopped around again. Still, you know, trade number 3. Here it's 1:05 p.m. Let's go to the next video. Now we're at almost 1:30, and this, I think, is the last video or second to last video. Yeah, this thing chopped around again after hitting this 255 level. One more video and then we'll see this trade finally work. So here we are now at 2:14. So many hours later than when we started this trade. This is still trade number 3. My stop loss was back here. You can see it's never gotten hit. We still have those same 38 shares that we had at 248.8 when we entered trade number 3. And it finally looked like it might hit my profit target, so I started recording again in the hopes of catching it. Of course, it could have gone all the way to 269, not fill us, come back down and stop us out. I'm not trying to say that, oh, because of what I did, this third trade worked out. Technically, yeah, that's what happened, but it's not like there was some magic formula or secret that I followed that made sure that on trade number 3 it worked out. What I'm saying here is that just because I followed my trading plan and I had trader discipline and I did what I was supposed to, trade number 3 worked out and kept us from a pretty big losing day. We're only trading with $100 per trade right now. I think if those first 2 trades failed and we had stopped for the day, we would have been around a $10 loss, which is considerable when you're trading with $100 per trade. That's 10% negative ROI. So the fact that this trade worked out because we stuck to our plan, because we used trader discipline, and this trade ended up making us slightly green, basically break even, but saved us from what could have potentially been a huge red day. Of course, this trade could have failed as well and added to the red day, but we would have done the right thing either way because we stuck to the plan and we used trader discipline. It's only in the long run that you're going to know if following that trading plan actually works or not. You can't figure that out in one trade or even 5 or 10 trades, certainly not in a day. So let's just fast forward and see, even this trade, it took a very long time to work out. I think now we're looking at the 5-minute chart, so it's a little harder to tell where I got in, but it was definitely somewhere back here. And, here we are coming up on 2:30. Let me fast forward here. And you can imagine if you're a new trader, if you don't have discipline, if you don't have a plan that you're following, holding through all this is going to be so hard. If you open up your platform and you've already lost 2 trades and now you see this huge green move and it's so close to your profit target, you're going to be so tempted to just move that profit target down and just get out green while you can. You can see that on this trade, we're still in the red. Right where this position is. And that's not why I held until my profit target. I held till my profit target because that's what my plan says to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. So Let's fast forward and see what ended up happening. Here we're kind of tapping near our profit target. And then finally, let me just show you that live where we get filled. 268 on the bubble, 269 on the bubble, and there we go, we're out. And we end up very slightly green, basically break even on that trade. I'll show you in the account right now. So we have it set to just today, so we can just see these trades here. And you can see it's plus 245, but that's because of my SPXL trade that has nothing to do with this, that's still going on. But we ended up, instead of being down $10, $11, which I know sounds like nothing, but if you're test trading with $100 per share, that's a considerable loss. And by sticking to the plan, following the plan, and using trader discipline, we were able to come away basically break even, slightly green on the day. So very happy with that result. I would be happy with the result regardless, whether it was red, green, break even, as long as we stick to the plan. This was just a good example of how that can work out sometime. But you could see, if you get emotional through that trade, I mean, let's take a look at that chart and just look at how crazy that chart is and how hard it would be to continue to enter into this trade. I mean, you can make all kinds of arguments why you shouldn't continue to trade MOGU, like, oh, it's a garbage stock. Look at this choppy price action. Everything just looks bad about it. But all I'm concerned with is sticking to my trading plan and doing what it says. And that's what we did. And then we were able to recoup those losses. You could see it actually stopped at 269 and is now coming back down. And that just happened to work out that way. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. The main message that I wanted to send out in this video and in all of my videos is that you have to go into every trade with a plan. If it's a different plan for every trade and you're doing something different on every trade, then your results are going to be absolutely meaningless. You're always going to be confused and emotional and unsure of what to do. So you have to have the same trading plan every single day for an extended period of time, at least enough to collect 100 trades worth of data. Once you've done that, you can look at that data and say, okay, does it work or doesn't it work? If you're not able to trade that plan exactly the same way every day for those 100 trades, then your data is worthless. It's useless. So hopefully the message is clear. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section down below. And hopefully you learned something from this. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. As always, go into every trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.